Here to educate us, if that's what you want to call it, and you about our lovely wine of Austria. It's Tom Canavan. Hey, Tom.
Wait, so not Australia, Austria.
Austria.
Really? Austria.
It's a bit off-piste, isn't it? You know, we've still got loads more wines to cover from France and Italy and Spain and all the countries we're more familiar with. But Austria makes quite a lot of wine, makes some very, very good wine. And I thought it was time we gave them a chance in the spotlight.
It had a bit of a bad press, though, didn't it? Due to oodles and noodles of, what was it, antifreeze?
Well, yeah. Now, listen, this story dates back 25 years. In 1985, some Austrian producers were prosecuted for trying to sweeten up their wines artificially with a chemical called glycol. Now, glycol also happens to be antifreeze, and it should never have been in the wines, and it was a huge scandal. And for years, Austrian wine sales just went down the pan. You know, you couldn't sell Austrian wines, and they've had to recover slowly from that. But there were always really good producers, really good grapes, and I think now it's a good time to kind of reassess Austrian wines.
Okay. Oh, Tom, there's nothing you don't know about wine. That's why we have you here.
Well,
what's the top drawer Austrian wine that we should be drinking then?
OK, well, listen, there's a grape in particular called Gruner Veltliner. It's a bit of a mouthful, but
what's that again now?
It's called Gruner Veltliner. Now,
very well said.
It's handy because a lot of the wine writers shorten that to just Groovy. Or Groovy. And in fact, our first wine tonight is a Groovy wine. It's the Groovy Gruner Veltliner. It's in odd bins at £7.99.
Tom, stop saying groovy, please.
Groovy.
Listen, the 70s are back. Was that the 80s? I don't know.
I don't know.
60s. The 60s, it was groovy, of course. There was all that flower power stuff, wasn't it? OK, this is the Groovy Gruner Veltliner from Austria at £7.99. In fact, from odd bins at £7.99. And I think we should have a taste of it, first of all. It's a wine which is crisp and it's fresh, so have a little taste of it. I mean, it's got nice kind of weight and richness, isn't it? A lovely wine.
Very fruity.
Really fruity, a really good food wine.
I like that wine.
And you'll notice that if you go into restaurants these days that have got a decent wine list, everyone's got a Gruner Veltliner on the list because they're actually brilliant food wines matched with all sorts of foods. And kind of medium weight, medium freshness, nice and crisp.
I like that one.
Isn't it lovely?
It's lovely.
Lovely aromas, things like green apples and lemons, but there's something almost like kind of herbs with it too, herbs and kind of salad leaves, very fresh, very fragrant.
You know, blind tasting, there's no way you would think that was an Austrian wine,
no,
would you?
Never.
No, it's not, you wouldn't. I mean, it's not like a German wine, it's not sweet, it's dry, you know, it's got more weight to it. And lovely with things like salmon, most fish, really versatile wine.
It's groovy.
Excellent. We like that one.
We like that one. That's the last time I'll mention that. We're going to end up having a groovy box on the hour that every time you say you're going to have to put a donation in. Let's move on.
Next.
Move on next to another Gruner Veltliner, another Groovy.
Have you been on the Austrian wine before you came on here tonight?
Oh, the antifreeze.
You actually got a bit pinky in your cheek, Tom.
I think it's the lights.
Oh, really? That's what we say all the time.
£8.49, this one from Waitrose. It's the Domaine Gobelsberg Gruner Veltliner from Austria. And if we have a taste of this one, Michelle, it has...
Are you going to kill me this week?
I might
Am I being giggly?
I might have to.
Okay.
Stephen will restrain you, I think.
Right, thank you. Yes.
This is really different.
It's different. It's got even more fruit, I think. On the palate, a little hint of sweetness.
Yeah, it's a wee bit sweet for me, to be honest. Bit sweet for you, Michelle, as well.
Sweet for me.
It's only a hint of sweetness. I mean, still, basically, this is a dry wine, but that tiny wee hint of sweetness, which I quite like, would actually make it a really good partner for things like Chinese and Thai food again. Because a touch of sweetness is always brilliant, and a cold, crisp white wine is always brilliant with the spices and the aromatics in Chinese and Thai food.
Or maybe with some food as well.
Yeah, dessert.
Absolutely, it would be quite nice with that, you know, with a lighter kind of fruit pudding. Not a sweet wine, but just got that slightly sweeter edge to it compared to the first one. £8.49 in Waitrose, and I think it's another really nice wine. Another Gruner Veltliner.
All right, we like our reds in January, don't we? So we've got one to finish with here.
We do, yeah. Austria makes a lot of red wine. You know, because it's a kind of cold northern country, we think of the ski slopes and all the rest of it. You don't actually just need heat to make really good wines. You need hours of sunshine, light as well. And Austria has plenty of light. It's a long season, you know, a long dry season into the autumn. So it can make good red wines. And this one is an Austrian grape called Zweigelt.
So this is another new grape to us, yeah.
It's another new grape, you know, like the Gruner Veltliner. It doesn't really grow anywhere else, only in Austria. This is a Zweigelt. This is the Sepp Zweigelt. It's £8.50 from a wine merchant called Wood Winters, who've got shops in Bridgeval and Edinburgh. And this one, again, really fresh, really fruity. Have a little taste of it, Michelle. lovely kind of dry but firm cherry fruit.
Ooh.
A bit of spice.
Really cherry in there. I like that one.
Bit of red plum as well, I think. Those kind of lovely flavours. But finishes quite softly, almost a kind of chocolatey quality in the finish. And I think really nice.
Not too heavy at all. Really fruity, but not heavy.
Not heavy, fruity, quite crisp. Could stand to be chilled very slightly if you wanted to. 20 minutes in the fridge would be plenty. And I think really good with spicier dishes, things like Hungarian goulash. It would be fantastic with.
I like. We were saying earlier, we like the label on this one.
Reflecting our great knowledge of wine, we like the label.
We're judging this book by its cover.
It's great, isn't it? The way it's split down the middle, a really nice, trendy, kind of funky, groovy.
You see, Tom, groovy. Oh no, not groovy again. You see, Tom, that's what I kind of do. I would go up the supermarket aisle and just go, ooh, nice bottle, nice label. I'm going to buy that.
Well, they'll be pleased to hear it. But it's a good wine too, I think.
It's a lovely wine. Gorgeous.
Where are you taking us next week as we continue our journey around the world?
Around the world. Next week, we're going a bit more kind of orthodox again. We're in Italy next week. We're looking at Sangiovese, the grape of Chianti, and another couple of Italian grapes.
I like my Italian wines, actually. I'm really looking
forward to that.
I like my
Italian wines, but I am now a fan of the Austrian wine, Tom.
Fantastic.
Once again, you've taught us well.
You've convinced us.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much indeed. Have a great weekend.